Hey, this is going to be a short video. I just want to sort of get the basics of the DiSC out there and let you know what it is and why it's important and why you should start thinking about it when you're creating content for your business. So if you've ever wondered why maybe a post of yours gets an absolute flood of comments from some people and crickets from others, the reason is not the algorithm. It's not that your content's being suppressed or anything like that. It's really psychology, specifically the psychology of the DiSC. Now, what is the DiSC? A lot of people think or talk about it in terms of a personality assessment or test. It's more of a behavior and communication style, though, however. It's really not, as basic as personality. And most entrepreneurs, when we start out this journey of being in business for ourselves, we write only to our specific style, right? Like if we're doing our content, we often think like, okay, I'm going to write to myself, in the past me, because that's who I'm marketing to. If you're only writing in one style, it's going to be heard by one of four people. So that's huge, right? You're leaving 3 out of 4 sales on the table. That's crazy. We're working our asses off for just like 25% of the population. That's not good. That's different from niching, right? This is not niching. So even if you're specialized in something and your focus in your business is really, really narrow, you still have 4 people within that niche, 4 behavioral styles, 4 communication styles, 4 types of buyers who listen, talk, learn, and buy very, very differently. So let's unpack that a little bit so you can start to understand how to communicate with each one in a way that resonates with them and connects. If you haven't met me yet, I'm Lisa. I am the founder of Two Way Copy. I'm a conversion copywriter, and I help businesses make their messaging clear, memorable, and fun to read. And I use the DiSC in the messaging to make sure that it speaks to all 4 buyers. So there's D for dominance, I for influence, S for steadiness, and C for conscientiousness. Sometimes you'll see slightly different labels assigned to these letters, but that's generally it. Now, the D is dominant, fast, results driven. The influencer, they are all about fun and people, and they want to be social and in a group and part of the party. They're the ones dancing on the bar when you go out with friends. The S's are the complete opposite. They're the ones in the back going, oh my God, I can't believe she's up on the bar dancing again, right? They're relationship focused. They want steady progress. They want to feel safe and secure. And the C's, the conscientious C's, they are conscientious in the sense that they're detail oriented, right? They're methodical, they're logic driven, data driven. They want to see the numbers, they want to see the spreadsheets, they want to see the bullet points, they want to know the features, not just the benefits. Okay, so those are your 4 basic types: the dominant D, the influencing I, the steady S, and the conscientious C. Now, you can also look at it in terms of birds. There's a really wonderful model out there that uses 4 birds to um, differentiate these behavioral styles. The eagle is the D, the parrot is the I, the dove is the S, and the owl, the wise owl, is the C. So, depending on what sort of lands and what helps you remember, you can use either one. And I'm going to drop some, links in the comments where you can go read about them and maybe take the test yourself if you don't know what you are. So let's talk about how this shows up in your content, right? So the D, they're scrolling fast. They're all about speed, 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 and results. They're action takers. They're task oriented. They just want to, once they have an idea and they've decided they want to do something, they want to go. They don't want fluff in the middle. They don't want any, obstacles. They just want to do the thing that they want to do right now, maybe yesterday. The I, on the other hand, they want stories. They are a little bit all over the place. They might be like, your flighty kind of person. They're out there, they're dancing, they're vibing, they're the star of the show, they're having a party. They want fun. So stories, emojis, energy, exclamation points, those are all really good things to use for the I. If you know somebody whose posts are filled with exclamation points, that is a massive clue that they're an I, or comments on your posts or whatever, right? Now, the S, like I said, they need reassurance. They want to feel safe and secure. So they're going to really want case studies, testimonials, social proof that other people bought your thing, right? They don't want to be the first ones. They're not trailblazers. They are not risk takers. They want to make sure that the thing that they're going to do is going to be safe and appropriate and prudent for them to do. The C, they crave the data. Like they want proof of a different kind, not the social proof that other people bought, but proof that it works. They want to know what processes you're going to take. These are question takers. They're going to ask you a million questions about what's in it and how many calls and how long is each call in the program and what are we going to cover and what's the agenda and how many people have bought it, blah, 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 blah. They're going to want all of the data. So let's do a little example. Let's take a basic, generic, super vague CTA like book a call and rewrite it for each disk type so that you can kind of see what I'm talking about. So instead of book a call, for a D, you're going to want to say something like, let's go. End of story, right? Like just super, super short, super to the point. Let's do this kind of thing. For the I, they really want to feel like they're in a party, in a group. So join us is going to get them way more interested and going to land with them way more than let's go. Join us kind of talks about that community, that social group vibe. That's what they want. The S, on the other hand, they want safety, remember? So instead of book a call, they're going to want something like um, book a call and I'll walk you through the process step by step, or something like that. They want to know that their hand is going to be held the whole way and that it's a good decision, that they're not going to regret it. And the C, they're going to want to know exactly what they're going to get on the call. So instead of, step-by-step guidance like the S might want, they're going to want a bullet point of, this is what we're going to cover in our call, book yours now, right? So see how it's very, very different for each one. The D is fast, action-oriented, task-oriented. The I is also a little fast, but they're people-oriented, group-oriented, high vibe party energy. The S really just want reassurance. They want to know that they're going to be led through something step by step. They're never, ever going to not know what to do next. And the C wants to know exactly what to expect and how how to kind of plan out their time. So here you see, right, you've got four different ways of saying the exact same thing, which is book your call. And this works and is applicable to absolutely every piece of content. You can write one sales page and talk to all four people. There's a specific order that you want to do it in, and specific words that you want to use and avoid, depending on which style you're trying to really appeal to. And then you can do, individual stuff. You can do a post that is just for Ds. Then you can take that same post and reword it just for the Is and just for the S's and just for the C's, or the eagles, the parrots, the owls, the doves, however you're doing it. You can do it in multiple ways. But you've got to do it. You've got to talk to each one of them if you want each one of them to buy. Because if you're only talking to one type, the others aren't even going to hear you. They're not going to stop the scroll. They're not going to pick up what you're putting down. They just will move on by. And that's really sad because your thing might be just the solution to the problem that they need. They don't need the problem, they need the solution. You know what I'm talking about. Now, I did make a little DiSC Decoder cheat sheet that I'm going to drop in the comments for you below. It's $9, download it, and you can get a head start on how to talk to different DiSC types, what words and phrases to use for each one, what to avoid at all costs. and that will get you started. And also, if you want to learn more about this, that's what this channel is going to have a lot of in it. We're going to be unpacking all the DiSC behaviors and communication styles and what resonates on a deeper, broader, wider, more granular level. Everything from sales pages, opt-ins, emails, everything tailored to the DiSC so that you can really excel in this business thing. All right, that's all I've got for you on this brief overview of the DiSC. Go grab your DiSC decoder or hit that subscribe button, and I'll see you in the next video. Okay? Ciao.